Ladies and gentlemen, Trish Stratus. How do you do? How do you do?
Well, thank you.
Please sit down. Thank you for being on the show.
Well, thank you for asking me.
You said, I am who I am because I grew up in Canada.
Yeah, absolutely.
How so?
I think I don't take myself too seriously. I don't know, I got a quirky kind of personality, and I see that a lot. And I think there's a difference in, maybe not the work ethic, but the appreciation for what you've achieved. Like, and it's interesting. Like, even in the States, I'll see a fan and they'll say, "Oh my God, could you sign this? It's like a $5 bill, anything, just sign it." And I'm like, "Okay." Whereas here in Canada, they're like, "Hey, I just wanted to say, like, we're so proud of you and congratulations." And they see like the work that goes into it as opposed to the, that of it all. And it's really interesting. But just being Canadian and having, I find I come home and I'm just a normal person, and I'm thankful that, it's like kids are like, I do autograph signings and they're shaking to meet me. And I said, "Hey kid, like I'm just like you. I just happen to do my job on TV." You know what I mean? And it's like that is definitely a Canadian thought, that whole, like, we're just doing our stuff. We get to do it on TV. We're lucky, I guess. That's what it is.
Who's Ron Hutchinson?
He trained me. When I got that call from WWE the first time, I was like, "Oh my God, okay." They said, "Send me your press kit." So I got all my covers together that I'd done for fitness, sent it to them, and I waited, and they didn't call. And I was like, "Oh no." So I thought, okay, if they're going to call, I want to prepare the best possible package. And I said, okay, I looked up some gyms in Toronto, and Edge is another Canadian wrestler, and he trained out of that gym. And I called him up, and I went down to see him, and I walked into this Rocky Balboa style gym with some dingy type basement, and I said, "Okay, I want to be a wrestler." And he told me afterwards, he thought it was like some Sable type girl who just wanted to be this pretty girl in the ring. But I was like, "No, I want to."
It's like that Clint Eastwood scene in his movie with Hilary Swank. I want to be a boxer.
You know what? I totally related to that movie in a big way, because he put me through that test. He's like, "Okay," and he put me in the ring with a bunch of boys and basically said, "Well, she'll stick it out and then she'll leave, and that's when we'll get rid of her." And I stuck it out, and I loved it, and I was like, "No," and they're like, "Oh, are you okay?" "I'm fine. Let's keep going," and I embraced it, and I loved it, and I also wanted to prove to him, like, I'm not that girl, So he really just gave me, after a while, when I proved to him that I wanted to do this and I loved it and I was passionate about doing it, he embraced me and he trained me. And sure enough, when the WWE called finally, I showed up, and he said, "Well, it's a very demanding job, and you got to think about what the role of the woman is changing. We may have to get more physical." And I don't know if that was like a scare tactic. I was like, "Oh no, I've been training for about 6 months. I'm good." So, but I think that was a plus. I went home with a contract offer after that meeting. So,
during your stint as a manager, someone drove you through a table.
Yes. What's so weird about that?
And that was Bubba Ray Dudley.
Yes.
Yeah. Good old Bubba Ray.
Good old Bubba.
Yeah.
Oh,
he loved throwing women through a table.
He really did. Yeah. It's strange, but true. That was one of my first major spills that I took in the WWE.
Now, do you have, football players talk about this all the time, concussions, injuries, bad stuff that can happen to you?
Oh, yeah. Do you want to see some stuff? Like, that's my missing knuckle. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, well, this is a good one. The audience will love this.
The last thing I was looking at were your knuckles.
How about
but that's a whole... What? Oh, my God.
A missing tooth. I got it knocked out because a trash can lid hit me in the face by accident. It happens.
Yeah.
I have a lot of injuries. I have a herniated disc in my back. I have a dislocated shoulder, which still gives me problems. I had sliced lip. I had black eyes. You name it, I've had it. So, but it all goes with the territory.
TV.